What's up, guys? It's Savannah, and here we are again. It's Tuesday, and I wasn't going to do a video today because it's kind of spring break, and I didn't know if I was going to be home, but I came straight home after work, and I was like, I'm going to do a video today. So let's get started. So, on a more serious note, let's discuss that I have not had a rough life at all. Not one rough day in my life. And I realized that a long time ago, but last night, I went to Target and I looked down literally every single aisle. And I could not, I picked up a few things and then I wound up putting it back. And I realized I don't need it. I basically have it. I have a job. And other than food, like eating out, which I need to stop. But other than food, I have no idea what to spend my money on. I'll go get coffee before school and it's basically where my money goes. There, coffee anywhere. Been going to Starbucks lately, but yeah, I don't need nor want for nothing. These past 15 years have been wonderful, and I'm about to turn 18, and we'll get to that in a second. So I'm adopted, and here's the coolest story of my life, okay? It's kind of sad, and it's kind of, really heartfelt, but it's, the coolest thing ever, because where I am now, and where I am today, what I have, what I'm doing, where I'm gonna be, I would not, under any circumstances, have that if I wasn't adopted. So it starts like this. I have an older brother, and my biological mom got pregnant with me. She had been doing drugs since she was 14, maybe earlier than that. And through both of her pregnancies, she was sober. She didn't do drugs or anything. She loved her kids. And when I was born, she just couldn't be sober anymore. Around the time that I was 3, my biological mother had overdosed in the bathroom with her, I believe, bestest friend. And when I found out, now, I'm literally speechless. I've known for a long time, and I still have nothing to say because I don't know what to say to that. And when I found out, for years, the questions, I was so confused. I was angry. I didn't even know, what to feel. I just knew that all these questions just popped up. How could she do that? How could she give up her kids for drugs? Of all things. Her daughter, her not even 3-year-old daughter. She had been doing drugs after after I was born. But how could you do that to your kids? How could you just leave them? And I understand now why it happened. Because God had a different story for me, and He didn't want me to, keep the pattern going. And, I didn't find out till I was 14. And when I found out it was kind of weird. So I found my baby book in the bookshelf. And, like, I guess it had been there this whole time. But it, like, just jumped out at me. Like, oh, there's a baby book. Maybe it's mine. And the name in it was Josephine Joanne Aldridge. And I was like, I read it. I was like, wow. Like, is this me? Because, I mean, my dad and my mom were in it. And blood-wise, they're actually my great-aunt and uncle. But they're my parents. They're my parents. And I will correct anyone that says differently. You can ask anyone. But I had started calling my dad Uncle Brian because, you know, that's what he was. He was my uncle. And so he kind of like caught on, was getting suspicious, and then he found my baby book in my room, and he tried to say that it was another foster kid that they had. I was like, okay. And then one night my dad was at work, and I went to my mom, and I asked her and told her that I had found my baby book. Daddy tried to cover it up. And she sat me down and she told me everything. She didn't leave one bit out. And she wasn't the only one that knew about everything. The next day, I went to school. And I told my vice principal, I said, I know that I'm adopted. I said, I came to my mom last night and asked her about it, and she told me that the truth. And he told me about his daughter and when she found out. And it's great having so many people who want to love and protect you no matter what. And to think that many more people kept this until I found out on my own. Because, like, my whole family was like, oh, you need to tell her. I was 4. 4. Like, I wasn't going to understand that. Like, they did it throughout my whole life. We even moved all clear across to Tennessee because of it. And even then, one of my mom's friends, well, her daughter. Anyways, so summer before last, I met my biological father. It was, I don't know if I have words for it. It's nice to know, but I already have a dad. I have a father. And I'm glad that he helped bring me into this world. But I have a dad, and I have a really close relationship with my dad, and I don't know if I can share that bond with someone else. Because I've never known this man my whole life. And all of a sudden, here's these questions again. Why does he want to pop up into my life now? Why couldn't he? Like, he had another 2 kids after me. And he kept them. And I was like, are you serious? Like, when I realized that, I was like, you kept them, but you couldn't keep me. And I started asking myself these questions over and over again. And the same ones with my mom, my biological mom. And the same thing just popped up. God had better plans for you, and he did. And they're working, and they're pushing through. And I'm just really lucky to have the family that I have. And I love my parents to death. Like, if I ever lost them, like, I don't even want to go to college because I'm so close to them. I get, what is it? House sick? homesick. But I get mom sick and dad sick sometimes. But I get mom sick. Like, if I'm away from my mom for a certain amount of days, I can be at my sister's and my mom be at the house, like our house. And I'll still, like, I will literally cry. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, what if something happens? And then I, like, won't ever see her again. And then what if, like, this happens to me? And then I just freak out. Then I start crying. The crying doesn't stop until I fall asleep. And yeah, it's a whole ordeal. Like, I'm really attached to these people. And I wouldn't want it any other way. Sorry for the crying. Actually, I'm not sorry because everyone has emotions. That's pretty much it. I'm adopted. And yep, my parents will always be my parents. Always. I love them. I cherish them. I never want to lose them. And I am so freaking lucky that God put me here. In this family. In this house. Although I do miss my old house. Very much. That's a story for another day. Happy Tuesday and have a good spring break. If your spring break was before, like last week or the week before, I hope you had fun and you're in school now. Alright, bye guys. I love you.